Hello everyone and welcome to another Enhanced Edition where I am finally putting myself out there and actually showing off my own custom paint job on something. In this instance, it is for Studio Series Ironhide. In the original video for this guy, I said, very cool figure, lots of nice detail, but could use a little bit of paint to break stuff up, so that's exactly what I did. I didn't do anything major to this, it was just a lot of little details that I wanted to add to really break things up. And I feel like for the truck mode, I have accomplished that. I mean, the paint is splotchy in places, and a couple of the colors aren't quite accurate, but I think it works. Starting from the front, these were already painted. I did not touch those, and the smokestacks I also did not touch. Those were like that out of the box. The grill was like that. That was not me. These extra lights on the top there, not me. Though looking at a reference photo, which I actually did, I looked at a reference photo to try and get this relatively right, which is weird for me, but I don't know. I was just in a mood, I guess. Looking at the reference photo, these lights up here aren't molded and painted quite right. I forget exactly what they're supposed to look like, but according to that photo, these are not quite right. So Hasbro didn't get those details quite right, but that's fine. I did add the white for the little lights on the sides here and the silver here and here for the tow cable assembly. It's a little sloppy, but like I said, I'm new at this and I just kind of went in and did what I could. I cleaned it up in a few places, but it could have been applied a little bit better. The headlights, these were originally black. The silver was there out of the box, but these were originally black, and so I went in and painted them yellow. I probably should have painted them white instead of yellow, but my brain was just like, headlights, yellow, duh. And then I was kind of, I did that and then realized after looking at the reference photo, no, those probably should have been white, but it's fine. And I mean, yeah, it's wrong, and it's, I could have done it a little bit better, and probably could have even tried doing a different color, but I think it's fine, and I think it actually works better because if it was white, it would blend in a little too much with the silver. So there, the yellow at least stands out. I did not do anything to the tires, as much as I always complain about tires not having silver rims and how I like silver rims, because according to the reference photo, these are actually all black. Wanted to do silver, decided to keep the black, and I think it actually works okay given the other details that were added, which I'll get into now. This bit here, it's like an air intake or filter or something like that. That is entirely silver out of the box, and I just painted a little bit of black over the grid section there, which also is a little bit splotchy, but I'm an amateur, I don't know. But I like how that looks. Like the big block of silver was fine, but I like how the black kind of separates it out a little bit and makes it a little less overwhelming. And then I also painted these bars on the bottoms here underneath the doors. Painted those silver on both sides. And I really, really like how that breaks up the sea of black that is this truck. And it's just a small little detail off to the bottom there, but that definitely helps. And I feel like with this silver detail here, it makes the lack of silver in the tires, even though it's accurate to leave it black, I think it makes me not care as much about the fact that the tires are all black. Now, over the wheel wells, there are these little lights that I painted yellow. I think realistically I probably should have painted them more of an orangish color, but I don't have orange paint and I didn't feel like mixing anything, so I just went with yellow. And I think it's fine. And it's like that on both sides. And then going on to the back, the taillights were red. I did not do those. That's just how they came. I left the Autobot logo as is because I actually kind of like the black on black, how it's just like this embossed logo there that's visible, but at the same time not prominent. And then the only paint that I did add was for the rear, I think these are the reverse lights. I just added white there, and again, it's a little sloppy, but I think it gets the job done. Oh, and also because I could, I just went in with silver to do the side mirrors, which is not the cleanest, but I actually like how that breaks it up a little bit more. So yeah, no major enhancements, just a lot of little details here and there. But overall, I actually really like how all the little details break up the very plain look that this guy had going before. I mean, you had little details here and there, but I think just a few more little details have really brought it all together. And I'm really happy with how this truck mode looks. As for the robot mode, this is another collection of just really small bits of detail that come together here, but I love how this turned out, and it's going to sound like I'm patting myself on the back, and that's really not my intention, but I just really, really like how just a few small changes have made a big difference with this robot mode, because, like I said, that's kind of what the toy was missing. So first off, stuff that was painted, I mean, you can see the truck bits, like that's kind of how it was. The face I left alone. The pelvis area, left that alone. These silver bits, these like canister looking things, did not touch those. And the silver for the hubcap axle wheel things in the shoulder assemblies there, did not paint that silver. However, lots and lots of little changes in here. Like, add a little bit of silver on the toes here just to break up the black. A little bit of gold along these wires on both feet. Some gold here. Some little bit of silver there. Again, this is just like small things to break everything up. What I'm particularly proud of is on the insides and outsides of the legs. You can see here, and I'm going to have to move this so you can see it a little better. I actually went in and painted these gear wheel sections silver. So those are originally black. I painted those silver, and then also did the smaller rings on the insides in gold to separate it out even further. And I really like how that turned out. And you can see I did it on both legs, both sides. And yeah, this bit gets covered up by the side of the truck there, but it's cool that knowing that it's there. I just like that. For the arms, I did gold around this slip here, which is a little sloppy, but I did that. I left the inside blank because this is where the rifles plug in, and I didn't want to risk paint, wearing off too much. So just did the gold at both elbows, and I think that looks cool. I also like that I did, I actually did gold on the knuckles. And I looked up a reference photo for Ironhide. It's difficult to really parse all of that visual noise, but I kind of picked out the little color details that I really liked out of what I saw, and that was one of them. And I just think that looks fun. And I also did gold on the insides of the elbows there, so they kind of match. And now, I said I didn't paint the silver for these, but I did paint the gold around there. And again, it's just a little bit of added detail that I think enhances stuff. And for the chest, this bit here is, I'm not entirely sure what that is. I think it's like a tampograph. That I didn't touch, left that alone, but I did do white and silver up along here. Because if you look closely, this is designed and molded to look like the front bumper of the car, which actually tucks down here as like a belt, and now it looks like a weird smiley face from this camera angle. But this is this, but like bent around like that. So because this is the front bumper, I tried to mimic the paint details that I added here with like the white lights on the sides and then the silver for the tow cable assembly and these bits on the side there. And then everything else is truck stuff. But I really, really like how this ended up turning out. Again, small changes, lots of little small things, but I think they really go a long way to just breaking up what was otherwise a relatively monotonous color scheme. Let me just slap these on real quick. And now seeing Ironhide all armed up, this just looks great to me. I feel like if anyone were to look at, say, a stock Studio Series Ironhide figure and then look at this, or look at this and then look at a stock Ironhide figure, they may not realize that there are any differences. And that's fine. Like I said, I didn't go over the top with the detailing. A lot of the details I feel like are imperceptible unless you know what you're looking for. But for me, even though some of it's a bit sloppy and I probably could have either gone with more accurate paint colors or gone into a little bit more detail here and there with some of the other stuff, even though I know it's far from perfect, I really like how just a few little bits of silver and gold kind of sprinkled throughout break up all that black. And it's not really details that draw your eye. Like if I'm looking at this, my eye is still drawn either here or to the arms, but even though it doesn't draw the eye, I feel like it blends in with the other stuff that's going on detail-wise, that it just kind of bumps everything up a little bit, and that's really all I wanted to accomplish here, and I feel like I did that. But that is it for Studio Series Ironhide. That is all I did. And like I said, little details here and there, nothing major, but I do think overall it definitely makes a difference. And it's really not that hard to do. I mean, I'm far from skilled when it comes to this stuff. I've barely done any kind of painting at all. Like maybe in high school, but digital art was more my passion. So yeah, if I can do this, then I feel like a lot of people can do this. All you really need is paint and a relatively steady hand and good enough eyes that you can make out the details that you want to paint. So that is it for Studio Series Ironhide. By all means, let me know what you think down below. I am curious to know what you all think, because this is the first time I've put a really customized figure of any sort up on YouTube for all to see. And I know it's small stuff, but still, it was kind of a big step for me. I know it's not like a full custom like a lot of extremely talented people do. I'm still proud of it, and I think it gets the job done. But regardless, thank you for watching. And as I keep saying, I've still got plenty of other things that have been stickered or painted, and those are inevitably going to be coming down the line. So hopefully you'll tune in for those as well.